Okay, so when is Unity 3.0 coming out?
Summer of 2010. But, we're within a few months, if summer, by firm calculations, goes through sometime in September. Sorry to those in the Southern Hemisphere, we're talking the Northern Hemisphere summer. But, we're talking in the next few months, we're going to have Unity 3.0 out.
Okay, awesome. So when it comes out, will it be out? Will there be Android? Will Android be there? What part of the...
Android and Unity 3.0 are being developed in parallel, but not necessarily in lockstep. So Unity Android might ship a little bit later than 3.0 if it needs to, based on, we want it to be done, not just ship it to get it out on time. We want to ship it when it's done and done right. As of today, it looks very likely that they will ship together. Okay. Our current internal test builds have Android in the build settings menu. But again, if it needs a little more time to bake in the oven, we're going to let it do that. So when we ship it well, so it's proper. But both of these are coming out this summer. Whether they're slightly offset is still to be decided.
Okay, your decision, or Unity's decision, of course, it wasn't even a decision, it's probably a no-brainer to include Android, the Android platform, because Android is such a strong open source community. Do you think with Unity 3D and Android's gaming market share will eventually increase slowly?
No,
I mean, it won't surpass iPhone yet, but in terms of rise, exponentially.
Well, so if you look at the numbers for Android device adoption, Android is going to, if not already, surpass the number of iPhones that are out there. The growth curves, if you set them on the same date and timeline, Android's on a much faster pace. So device adoption is incredible for Android. Now, gaming has lagged behind, and I don't know the exact reason. Maybe it's a lack of a tool set. There's been nobody like us there yet. Is it the store and commercial potential that's there? I don't know, but I do think that by us coming over to Android, we are bringing new power and potential to the Android developer market, and I hope that we have an impact on gaming on Android devices. And I don't think it's going to be a slow impact. I think it's going to be a fairly rapid impact, as we're going to bring not only the Unity developers that are out there over to Android, but we're going to be bringing our tools to the existing Android developers. And that's a lot of new people making games for the Android platform. So I think that could cause a pretty significant surge in games and game content that we're going to see on these devices.
Exactly. Mario, here's an interesting thing for you to listen to, this question that I'm going to ask Tom. Tom, do you feel that Unity 3D, I read the mission and the philosophy, but on a scale, in terms of serious gaming, does Unity have like, a goal in terms of responsible, serious gaming with education? Well,
you bet. So two thoughts. One, with respect to education, we have a couple of approaches. One is getting Unity as a tool set into the curriculum, so that in game design and development tracks or in computer science tracks, that they begin using Unity as part of their educational programs. Second approach to education is use of Unity to create educational content, training and simulation material, things like that. And you bet, we're going to two separate educational events. There's GES in Los Angeles, and then GES, I believe, in London, and both of these are next month. And we're going to be attending both of those. David Helgeson, our CEO, is going to keynote the European event. We are 100% committed to the educational market on both of those fronts. And to tack on to that, Unity, it's not just for games. Data visualization, architecture visualization, training and simulation, as big as the games industry is, these are markets that are an order of magnitude or more larger than games. The worldwide budget for training and simulation content, we're talking trillions of dollars, whereas the games industry is fairly small at billions. That is massive potential that developers using Unity can tap into as well. So we're going to develop more materials, more of a marketing message around that. We've had to stay focused on the games for entertainment thing as a young company, do one thing and do it well. But now we have some extra bandwidth to start these additional marketing efforts and additional promotion efforts. But yeah, 100% committed to that, and we think it's a great opportunity for our developers.
Okay, perfect. Now, because of Unity 3D Engine's uniqueness and the environment's uniqueness, do you see Unity 3D as a leader, a pioneer in getting globally people ready for gaming and education?
Well, I definitely think...
meeting the needs of even primary students, high school.
Yes, I think our ease of use and approachability gives us a distinct advantage in that regard, and we already have high school kids that are using Unity in terms of courses and whatnot. Are we the only tool that's out there that could fill this need? No. Do we have the lead right now? Yes. And so for us, this next year, year and a half is a critical time. While we've got all this attention, while we've got mind share, we need to execute and execute well so that, in a year and a half, we've got people that are going to be making games and be professional developers that have grown up using Unity as a tool. If we falter, if we make some missteps, there's going to be somebody else coming up right behind us that's going to take our spot. So yes, we're in a unique position right now, and it's critical for us to stay in that position and execute well. And I think we're uniquely positioned to help students of any age, developers of any age, get into game development, get into content development by using Unity.
Okay, here's a question I want to address to both you and Mario. Okay, from the way I see it, if anyone can create a game from 3D, on Unity 3D, then there probably will be a handful or numbers of games out there that aren't industry worthy in terms of the standards, in terms of games will not be industry worthy. So with that said, do you think that Unity 3D's engine and environment, the way it's set up, will actually end up heightening those standards so that somebody like me can develop a game with the support needed to something like half decent?
Do you want to start, or should I, Mario?
Well, let me start. Let's start me. I think Unity as a tool is that great tool to provide something with your skill set that comes from artistic styles, or that comes from a more programming style way of learning, that you can, without that much professional work, get a really nice result. So there are not that many bad examples for what to use Unity. I've seen pretty bad web game lately from Iron Man, but that is a minority. The major games are really nice. Let it be a ball rolling around a flat field. It just is fun. It might not look as great as Crysis or somewhat, but I don't think that this is your key focus, or is it?
Well, there's two sides to this. One is when you want to empower everyone. It's just like on the web, when everybody could make a website. That didn't mean everybody could make a website that was awesome, right? And we want to empower everyone to try and live the dream. Not everyone is a fine artist. Not everyone is a great programmer. Not everyone is going to make awesome content. So, it's not a guaranteed success. This isn't like instant gold rush, right? You do still have to have a good idea, a nice way to approach it. We just make that process easier. We don't make that process a guaranteed success. So, we want to empower everyone, and that means there's going to be some games that aren't that good to come out, right? That means that you're going to have these unexpected huge hits that come from an individual that you never expected before. And you take that good with the bad. But the point is, everybody gets the voice, everybody gets the opportunity, and the cream will rise to the top, right? So we will see these top content games come out. Will it raise the bar? I think, yeah, to a certain extent, because look at what everyone's creating today, and if we're giving them more power, potential, and capability, well, everybody's going to float up a little bit. So I think, yeah, it's going to raise the bar and expectation as to what kind of games can I expect on my device or in my browser. Yeah, you bet. Us and competitors, we want to make that a higher and higher expectation. So we want to bring that higher bar, but with that, more people in. So we all have got a better playing field. Right. So
that's great. Great answers, guys. Mario, did you have any another question you wanted to ask off the top of your head?
Well, just some technological stuff. Beside your in-house developed Unity asset server, versioning tool you support SVM. Are alternatives to that on the horizon? Like, did